I will empathize a bit here with the founder. My challenges with Cameo was even like before pandemic, it's the fundamentals of it as a marketplace just didn't feel like the pieces fit together. But I will say in those 2 years of pandemic fueled time, Reforge was in a semi-similar place where we also went on a growth tear. And we couldn't understand where all the growth was coming from or why some of the things were growing the way they were. We could attribute some of the things, but not all of it. A bit of it was a mystery to me. And I was surrounded by a ton of voices, as Casey mentioned, that was like, lean into it, like invest in it, like what are you doing? Like don't slow down. And in that time, there were so many moments where I felt like I was the one wearing the crazy pants. And so we did invest in it. We did end up over invested. We did not raise $100 million round at a $1 billion valuation or those things that quite a few companies did. But I think the reflection that I've taken away from that time period is that if you don't understand why you're growing, you should be unbelievably hesitant to basically increase investment. The challenge is I actually don't think you can understand all of the reasons why you were growing. We were sitting there, analyzing it in the time, but there were just too many things that were unattributable in the moment to like really come down to incredibly like thoughtful analysis or understand like where the ceiling was, like as we like teach in Reforge. And there are those things and are those moments. But the thing that I took away from it was you almost have to attribute what you can and kind of focus on that and almost think about the stuff that you can attribute, like that it's like not even happening because it clouds your view and it clouds your judgment of what's in control and what's not in control, or what you understand about the business and what you don't understand about the business. And so I think it was definitely a tough time for the, I don't know what you want to call it, some of the rationalists to operate because they got pegged as pessimists in that market. I don't know. I'm still processing that moment in time and all the lessons learned and all the mistakes from it. But I will say it's looking back on it, it was definitely hard to operate in time, not from a growth perspective, because that was the piece that came easy, but from other pieces around decision making.
The hopium, as Casey said, I think it's hard to be the one not on the hopium when everyone else is on the hopium, right? And especially when, as you say, Brian, like there's not anything you can specifically point to say, here's definitively why y'all are actually on hopium, right? And this is a fake thing we need to shift. If you're kind of, well, I think this attribution, I don't totally understand it. You don't even know how to get yourself in that zone. So how can you get everyone around you who's on that rocket to kind of slow down a little bit?